Thank you, Mr Deputy President. I rise too to speak on the Social and Affordable Housing New South Wales Fund Bill 2016 and of course note that the Labor opposition is going to support this bill. I think that it's very easy for us to talk a lot about the various funding mechanisms and the bricks and mortar when it comes to housing and delivering more housing for people to live in. And the previous speaker, the Honourable Paul Green, went through that in quite a lot of detail. I wanted to spend a little bit of time in the House actually just talking about the people that we know that have come to our attention, that we know through the reports, that we know through experience are without a home or not able to buy a home or able to live in a home. We know that there are tens of thousands of people sleeping rough, and many of us, when we leave this building tonight, will walk past many of them as we go home safely to our warm beds. We know that on the Central Coast there are churches that have set up safe parking areas so that women and their children can sleep in their cars because they have nowhere else to go. That is a very worthwhile thing to do, but it should not be happening and should not be there. We know that there are kids in out-of-home care who turn 18, who will be leaving foster care, who frankly have nowhere else to go, and we know all of the statistics tell us that many of them will be homeless on the street or in jail within the first 12 months of them leaving home. We know that there are currently people in insecure housing with our rental laws that are completely tilted in the direction of landlords, which the people are in most insecure situations, even when they actually are working and they're paying their rent. We know that in this state you can basically be thrown out with no fault, no issue, and find yourself homeless. We know that there are people who currently have jobs, lose their jobs, and they're one pay packet away from homelessness. That is what is happening here. We also know that the housing system in Australia has been set up is set up in a way that skews it towards speculation and is part of the reason why we see the ridiculous house prices that we see in New South Wales. If we're serious about actually housing people, if we're serious that we actually believe that everyone has a right to shelter, and if they do that they will thrive and they will be able to fulfil what they have in them and fulfil all of their promise, then we actually have to take the speculation out of housing. We have to accept that the market fails in this area. It does not actually deliver what we need it to do, which is to provide a roof overhead for every single person in this state. Because failure to do that is leading to many, many other problems that none of us can deal with. There are people that will be walking out of jail today who currently will have nowhere to go and who will be very quickly, even who want to do the right thing, will find themselves with very few options and probably back in jail within 6 years. We know that there are parents who currently have children in mental health facilities, of which they are very concerned about, but know that they're about to be released any minute to no secure housing and not a place for them to safely live. This bill is important, but we need to understand this is a drop in the ocean if we are serious about dealing with homelessness. If we seriously believe that everyone has a right to a home, we actually have to take action. The market will not deliver it. Housing affordability in New South Wales and in Sydney in particular has never been worse than it ever has been before. The response from this government so far is not to talk about targets when we're talking about population growth of several million people over the next decade. We're simply saying we're going to build more, we're going to release more land, and the market will deal with it. Well, the problem with that policy is that all of that delivers is hoping that housing will become more affordable if the bubble bursts. That is the only solution to making things more affordable. We have public sector workers, we have hospitality workers, we have cleaners, we have people in this state who are travelling hours and hours a day because they cannot afford to live near where they work. And for them to get a job, and I'm aware of a childcare worker in one of the centres that my children went to who travels from Wollongong, south of Wollongong, every single day to earn less than $40,000 a year as a childcare worker because that's the only way she can get a job and it's the only way that she can afford to live because she has to live with her parents. We know that there are baby boomers all over town, and any of us who've got teenage children now also know our kids are not going anywhere soon. They're not going to actually get the opportunity to live the life that we did as young people, living out of home, being able to rent, being able to become adults, they'll be living with us for a very long time because they can't afford to even get a deposit together to put together on a house. I don't know how many ways we need to look and to understand that the housing system that we have currently got in this country is failing, but we have to recognise that, and we have to understand if ever there is a case for government intervention, if you seriously believe that everyone has a right to a home, then this is it. This bill goes a very small way to dealing with this matter, but the matters that we face are far more significant. And as we walk out of this building tonight and see the people who will be scrabbling around on a bit of cardboard hoping to find somewhere out of the wind and somewhere out of the rain, that we think about that a bit more seriously.